You kind of leapt into the Irish public's imagination when you agreed to become the independent Labour candidate for the presidency of Ireland. What made you take that enormous leap?
Well, it was an interesting day when I first had the proposition put to me by John Rogers, whom I knew and liked, but wasn't too close to. We were friends. And when he said to me that he wanted to come to my home to discuss something, I assumed he had a family problem, because otherwise we'd have met in the law library.
Yes.
And I was alone because Nick was at the Centre for European Law we were working on, the children were at school. And in the dining room of our home, he said, by the way, Mary, the Labour Party now has enough members in the Oireachtas, 20 members, to nominate a candidate for the presidency, and we're going to contest it. And we have to remember there hadn't been an election for 17 years because, for various reasons, there had been agreed candidates. So, more power to the Labour Party. They were determined to contest it. But I, frankly, wasn't looking in that direction at that time. But I was also aware it is an honour to be invited. So I said to John, let me think about it over the weekend. And he thought that I was going to say no. I rang Nick, and Nick said, it's Valentine's Day, come to lunch. And he also said to me, you know, Mary, you're always talking about the Constitution, you're a constitutional lawyer. Yeah. Have you looked at the provisions of the Constitution relating to the presidency? And I hadn't. And when I looked and saw that unusually in the Irish Constitution, the president, although not political, is elected by the people as their choice.
Yes.
And this, for me, opened up, you know, to be elected by the people of Ireland to serve for 7 years as head of state, but also to be close to people, to represent that all those other things that matter, local government, local involvement, symbols of peace in Northern Ireland, the diaspora, all of these things.
The Labour Party TV at the time, Jim Kemmy, came to you with some advice that you remember. I see you smiling now because you know exactly where I'm going with this, but what did he say to you?
Well, I don't know how many of you remember Jim Kemmy. He was a wonderful representative for Limerick, but he was not sartorial. He was a big burly guy, and he had a big, you know, jacket that didn't fit and a tie that was probably askew. And the fact that he told me...
Of all the people,
that he told me I needed a makeover. So I knew I needed a makeover.
Did he say it to you?
Oh, he said it.
And what did you say when he said it to you?
I didn't say very much. I said, okay, Jim.
Were you offended?
You know, no, not at all. No, because I knew where he was coming from.
And where was he coming from?
He was such a genuine guy. And he saw that I was very lawyerly, dressed in, you know... sombre, and my hair wasn't very done, and I wasn't wearing makeup like I am now. And, you know, And for me, it wasn't terribly important, but being a woman, I knew if I was going to seek high office, I had to look well. There is a kind of different judgment on women and men in these issues.
Unfairly, or?
Inevitably. I don't know if it's fair or not, but it's inevitable.
Very legal answer.
Hillary Clinton has complained about it. Everybody who's in public life as a woman knows. So many people on television will say, why does she do her hair like that? Why doesn't she, you know, wear more makeup? Well, whatever. And it's one of those things.